Kindly take this opportunity to share this show on your platforms, because change can only come when we stand together as one, especially when it comes to ending the stigma on mental health.
You are not alone, and help is out there.
Kids have mental health issues, and we also need to learn coping skills.
Let's get started and let the show begin. See you soon.
Licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida.
Hello and welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Werhner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and I'm your host. And today we're going to be talking about how to keep your kids safe in school, but not just safe, but educationally reaching their full potential, especially when you are coming to semester end of semester, and all these changes with the holidays, and a lot of people stressing out, wanting to take vacations, and all sorts of things that I know as a mother myself that it's a little hectic trying to make sure that finals are done because it's final weeks.
Yes.
And my guest today is a big specialist on that. But before I formally introduce her, I want to say hi to Ed.
Hey, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Hey.
And I still hear the echo, but we're going to figure this out. But I think it's the sound coming from here, from the thing.
Yeah.
Where's your camera?
Yeah, so I'm looking at you when you're talking. I don't hear what's coming out of your mouth for a split couple of seconds afterwards. So
we talk about that too.
Because you're going through the internet first.
Yeah.
Then you're coming to us.
It's a little confusing.
So, yeah.
And we're going to be talking about selective mutism, which my guest will talk about that, but where kids just refuse to talk. And I think I had selective unmutism, the opposite. I said that she thought it was funny, but I'm not joking. Anyway, so you can welcome to call in 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340. Ed, is your camera working? I can't see your pretty face.
Dink, I forgot.
You forgot because I'm right here.
Well, we had that little false start to begin the show, in case anybody thought it was deja vu. No, you weren't quite ready. But
well, this is the first time I've actually had a guest in studio on the virtual stream like this. So I had to pack up a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, it was really cool to have somebody in the studio on this virtual platform.
Yep.
So 866-826-1340. And when you call in, please say hi to Ed. He deserves it. He's going to be a guest on my show in a few weeks because he was a big star on Dr. Phil. 866-826-1340 to call in to join the discussion. Anyway, so thanks, Ed. And I'm in whenever you want. So Melissa has been a guest on Moments of Clarity with Tiffany quite a bit, a few times, and there's a reason for that because She's an educational consultant locally. So if you're listening to us on the radio, you can hire her if your kids are falling behind in school, if they are struggling and need a 504 plan and you don't know what to do. Also, how about you talk about what you do, Melissa?
Of course. Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, I'm an educational consultant based in Clearwater, Florida.
The echo's kind of confusing, isn't it? So we're just going to have to figure that out.
I specialize in tutoring and consulting students at every age and every subject area. I'm currently hosting Saturday study sessions to help kids get ready for the upcoming midterms.
Anyway, so that's really great, and thanks for being here. Let's go to a short break first and fix the sound really quick, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Lucy Lopes, and I'm a real estate agent that supports ending the stigma on mental health with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I am also passionate about helping you buy or sell your home. With times being so difficult, I'm here to help. Contact me at lucylopes.com. That's LUCYLOPES.com. Let me assist you through this pandemic and know that you are not alone.
Hi, this is Tiffany Werner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Werner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American Odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hi, and welcome back. And you're tuning into Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And let's see. I think turning down the microphone was a lot better. Does that help you, Melissa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Perfect. Beautiful.
All right. Anyway, so let's talk about this. So there's times that we've been on the show before, and you said you grew up with selective mutism. What is that?
I developed it when I was about 7 or 8. My family moved across the country, and then I just became mute when we moved to Florida, specifically in the school setting.
And when you remember doing it, was it because it is a diagnosis, mental health, but you having it as a kid, when you described it, you kind of said that you just were mad that you moved and you decided not to talk on purpose.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it wasn't because of a trauma, but kind of because you moved and you had to readjust everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of kids that go through issues like that are going through them right now. And I notice with a lot of my clients that are struggling because of COVID and the isolation and what they had to go through when they had to do virtual school.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like our son, when COVID hit, he had just graduated 8th grade. So they had to do virtual at home school for freshman year. And he missed that socialization of transitioning from 8th grade to high school, because freshman year is big.
Right.
So if you remember, like freshman year, it's like freshman year, everybody's kind of like a melting pot of everyone. You're kind of figuring out who do you want to be friends with and things like that. Sophomore year, you kind of develop your cliques. Junior year, you know who your friends are. Senior year, you could give a crap who you hang out with because you're like on your way out. But for those that missed freshman and sophomore, that socialization kind of just enter in sophomore year or junior, and it's different.
Yeah, it's really tough. They missed out on being in school, after school activities, sports were canceled. So it really was very hard for children and the youth. It still is hard for them to like show up like people used to show up because they were so used to being
like go
home.
to school or make it to the bus stop, right?
Yeah.
Things are so different. And I just remember, like, my son's like, "Huh, can you take me to school?" Or riding a bus. I'm like, well over the age to drive. I don't know. Or he needs to start thinking about driving one day, let's just say. But when I was 15, I could not wait to get my learner's permit. I was like at the DMV the day of my birthday. At the DMV the day of my 16th. Drove to school that morning, you know? And there was no, can you take me to school, mom or dad? It was, I had to find a ride from someone that was driving already.
Right.
And that kind of stuff. And COVID and all that stuff, I think, delayed a lot of that. And then these, and I'm not going to say them by name because sometimes it gets edited because whatever. But, you know, those companies that will pick you up and take you places and you can have an app for them. You know what I'm talking about? It's like you can order food and that kind of stuff too. Make it difficult for, I don't know, I think not difficult, it's a different word I want to use, but I've noticed a change in this generation. And a lot of people look at these kids as being lazy or whatever, but I think it's just more not in a rush to be where we were when we were kids, because things are more accessible by the touch of a button on an iPhone or whatever, where you can order someone to drive you somewhere or order food to be delivered or whatever it is. And it's changed a lot of the outlook on, from what I've known my clients to be like, and that what I feel like seeing just the drastic change in a generation gap due to social media and due to the internet and access to everything so easy. But plus COVID on top of that delayed them from even.
It definitely did, for sure. If you think about it, like their whole world, like shut down. Their school, their activities, you know, we were telling them not to go hang out with friends and stay at home and keep, you know, your group small. So it's definitely been a challenge for youth to go back into the quote unquote real world. Because you're right. Definitely things are at a touch of a button these days, and they want that instant gratification. So yes, I understand what you're saying.
And even my clients, because I specialize with adolescents and young adults, among other things, though, but they're not even taking prom and homecoming seriously.
I've noticed that
they don't even go. Like, they don't care.
It's like they don't want to go. It's like too social or something. Too many people.
Precisely. And they don't know who to ask, or they don't want to go and hang out around a bunch of kids and go to a dance because it's awkward for them. You know,
they missed out on so much opportunity during like a prime time of their life when they were supposed to be going out, having graduations, parties. They didn't have that. So it's almost like they're slowly transitioning back. Some people better than others, but there definitely are a ton of people who still are staying home because they're scared.
Yeah, because if I can remember correctly, for homecoming, for instance, I was shoved in freshman class, right, or sophomore year class or whatever, and for both of those years where prom didn't exist, so freshman and sophomore has homecoming only, and then junior and senior have homecoming and prom, or winter formal, or whatever the schools call it. And it was almost like a chance to like show up among your peers dressed up really pretty and be like, how do you like me now? Kind of like that kind of thing.
And it was fun. Yeah.
And then it senses that a lot of them nowadays, just recently, so hopefully it'll go back to the way it once was, since we're not quarantined and all of that so much. But they don't care to show off around a bunch of people they don't know. Or they don't, most of them haven't found that special person ask or whatever,
Yeah, it's definitely challenging because for a couple of years we're like, stay away from people, like go back.
Yeah. So. I mean, that too. Like, do we wear a mask to prom? I would like a glitter one to match my dress.
I need a pink one.
We can have ones that have like sayings on them. Could you imagine? They probably had to do that. Like,
yeah.
I should have created a mask that was Moments of Clarity and donated them to schools. I had that thought, just didn't run with it. But with glitter. So call in if you have any feedback or questions. I have an educational specialist. It's finals week for most of our kids, testing and everything, a week or two before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then there's winter break, or Christmas break, holiday break, whatever it calls. I don't know. I should have said holiday break, but to each their own. And then what are you going to do with your kids on that break? And a lot of parents are working. A lot of parents do get to work from home. And that's taking a toll on families as well. At first it was COVID. The pets needed CBD anxiety because they were like, don't you have somewhere to go? And then now the kids are coming home to a lot of parents that are working from home. So no one gets a chance to really miss each other.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And then when we do have somewhere to go, the pets are kind of nervous, like, wait, what?
Where are you going? You're supposed to be here.
My cat cries at the door when we walk the dog. Like, seriously, don't take the dog from me. Oh. This like, she'd cry. It's like this sad meow. 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 It's really sad. And it's
Mom, don't leave.
No, but she cries for the dog.
Oh, right.
Not me. It's really weird. Like, what cat mourns for a dog? And I'm serious. I can catch that on film, and I'll show you. And she fetches too. Like, anyway. Call in 866-826-1340. Let me read it. It's right there for me.
866-826-1340. Call us.
Yeah, get rid of that selective mutism. Not allowed to have it on the radio show. So that there's a lot of things that have changed, and even me coming into the radio station live was put on hold for a little while, and then I kept telling Ed I'd be back, and Ed missed me so much, and he's just like kind of nodding, but he's like,
he's agreeing. Yes.
You missed me so much. And then I come in and I was like, with all these technical difficulties and making him work hard, he's probably like, go back home.
Yeah. Why are you here? It's easier when you're at home. I'm just kidding. He's
we had
smiling.
finally got it perfected, set easy. Like, I would just walk in, push a couple of buttons, log in, and had it going, and COVID happened. And then I evolved into virtual. So if you're listening, you want to watch, just type in Moments of Clarity with Tiffany on YouTube, and you can see us live and see all the other previous shows as well. So 866-826-1340. And how are these things affecting your livelihood? So Melissa, how is this affecting your job and everything? Because working as an educational consultant and being a mother as well, you have to kind of go on their school schedule, but a lot of people need you when the kids aren't in school. So how does that work for you?
So I do offer flexible scheduling, including Saturdays and evenings. Many of the children did fall academically behind during COVID, so I can assist them one-on-one, working on specific skills, working with the families to get more supports in the school to really help their kids be set up for success.
Yeah, because a lot of kids, my son ended up with A's and B's. I have no idea how. Like, he's missed a lot of school. And working virtually, oh my gosh, it was interesting to say the least. So the kids are homeschooled. This was when COVID first started, so like 2019, I guess, 2020. And so some of the kids opted to be in the class with a mask or whatever, and some didn't. But this is when we were scared, and people were leaving boxes outside of their house for an hour, and toilet paper was hard to come by. Now there's a shortage of medications like Adderall, ADHD meds, and antihistamines and other things because of flu. It's always funny that there's always one thing that's high in demand that you wouldn't expect. You expect water, batteries, or something. We're in a pandemic. Anyway, but some of the teachers would walk away from the computer as they're talking and giving the lectures. One forgot to turn off her computer and started vaping.
Uh-oh.
We're like, can we leave now? She forgot she was on camera.
Like, yes, go. You didn't see anything.
Yeah. But, not kidding. Anyway, but it was kind of a joke, to be honest. So it was more like homeschool, so we had to do whatever the projects were with the children. Which, not helping. And I helped with a math test, and he comes home, or he gets it back, and he got a C. And this was a 5th grader. Because I am not smarter than a 5th grader. I Googled that stuff too.
Okay. 5th grade math is hard. I'll be honest with you.
So call it 866-826-1340. If you just try to call in, just call back. 866-826-1340. And leave some feedback. This is one of those discussions that you can ask questions, get stories of how it's affected your family, your children, yourself, and also that people are not alone.
Yes.
So while you're shopping and doing the holiday bustle, anyone crazy enough to try to go to the mall right now?
What are you looking at me for?
I have no idea. Because you're the one here. Just like, this is the worst time to go to the mall.
It is. It really is.
Excuse me. There's actually, it used to be a cough button, so I'm not coughing in everyone's ear. 866-826-1340. So what's one thing personally that you've gone through with your kids? With somebody that maybe that it's affected in a...
Sure. My daughter was actually in kindergarten at the time, and we chose to have her at like a private school where they did the online learning, but it was super challenging to meet the kindergarten materials like online. So we eventually brought her back to school. But I know that that was really hard for her to be on the computer like 8 hours a day as a 5-year-old. So that was definitely something that was super challenging for us.
I could imagine doing kindergarten. Like, you know, that Florida homeschool, like, that I've heard from with parents that do Florida homeschooling. They tell me that there's not half of the assignments that the school gives. So you don't have to do cutout snowmen and all that fluff, like, where it's kindergartners, so usually like 4 or 5 years old, and you don't want them using scissors. So it's a sent home assignment basically for the parents.
Yes, yes.
Where you want to put the snowman's nose somewhere else just to punish the teacher. Thanks a lot for this. Oh, the carrot didn't go up there. Okay, so we have a caller. We have caller Sean. And Sean, welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany.
Okay. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hi, we're doing good. How are you?
Good, good. So my kids are adults now, thank God. But I do have nieces and nephews that are in the public school system in Arizona, as well as I work with a lot of the kids in this area. I volunteer. And like everyone else, I've noticed because of COVID, the whole mindset has changed. And
Yes.
the kids I come in contact with are apprehensive. They're just really, they've been affected in a lot of different ways because of the lockdowns, shutdowns, etc. Not to mention the fact that the stuff that's being allowed in the school libraries, that's adult content only, is another issue, but it's a real big problem. But my question to you, ma'am, is there, in your opinion, a very active or robust program being put in place by the federal government or maybe your state government that's trying to address this about our children in a very proactive way? Because, look, we all know they're our future, right?
Absolutely.
And they are, they're lagging in so many different areas. And I get this vibe from a lot of people that it's not their problem. My kids are raised and done, but I'm not that way. I'm worried about I believe where I live, the school system is decent, okay? But it can most definitely be better. But just the other day, there was an active shooter, and there was a big fight at one of the high schools. All the other schools locked down. And it's just like, oh, well, people are so accustomed to all these things going on. But I think it all goes back to one principle, I'd just like to hear your thoughts. If there is things being put in place to tackle this problem, because I haven't heard of anything.
Sure.
And
that is a great question. I don't know any like local government-based programs, but I was teaching during the pandemic and post-pandemic, and we would try to meet the kids where they are at and accelerate their learning. I know for one, I would specifically focus on social emotional learning with them, having conversations, looking them in the eye and telling them they're doing a great job is what they need. They need to be seen, heard, and validated. But I love your question. And if I hear of any programs, I will definitely reach back out to you and let you know.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate what you have done and what you're doing. We need more people like you.
Well, thank you.
And thank you, Tiffany, for everything you do. The show is a breath of fresh air.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah. You guys have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow.
Happy holidays.
And you know what, honestly, because we have to figure this out, the massive shootings, schooling shootings shouldn't have these issues. I mean, we shouldn't have these things.
No.
Sorry, I'm multitasking right now. But just on the 14th, a couple days ago, was the 10-year anniversary of the Sandy Hook shooting. And just watching the documentary and the parents talking about it made me cry, literally. And not that we knew of, but like, well, the shootings didn't really happen back in the day.
No, they didn't.
And they don't make sense. And the Sandy Hook one, 20 little kids aged 6 and 7. 26, 7-year-olds. Who would want to do that? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then they're saying about the kid's mental health and that he had black garbage bags, trash bags on his windows, and he barely left his room, and his mother didn't think mental health was needed. He didn't socialize much, and he played a lot of shooting video games, and his mom was bonding with him by going to a shooting range.
Wow.
And I don't know the whole thing, but I was just got that piece of it where it's like, okay, if my son had duct taped black garbage bags
on the windows,
black garbage bags, they're just they're not the kitchen ones, but the dirt, whatever, and blacked out his windows and played only violent games. The last thing that I want to do is go to a shooting range and bond with him and teach him how to shoot a rifle or whatever gun it was. I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer. Like, send the kid for therapy.
Yeah.
He's blocking himself out. He's isolating. And as far as I know, he shot his mom first and then went to the school and shot at them.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So that bonding didn't go anywhere.
No.
It's not really funny though, but the bonding backfired. It's just not the way that you help a child when they're blocking everyone out. The isolation is a big warning sign. I mean, teenagers love their room.
Sure.
Okay, so
yes,
they want to be there. They want to be on the phone with their friends. And there's like a get out sign on the front. And you walk in and you can see dishes that were from like a month ago. You've been wondering where all the glasses went. You can't get a glass of water. You go in there and you can fill up a whole dishwasher of dishes from your teenager's room. So that's pretty typical. But I don't know. That went to an extreme, like of.
Yeah.
Okay, so 866-826-1340. Sean, thanks so much for calling in. 866-826-1340. We're going to go to our second break, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Stay tuned.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary, no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Hi, this is your host, Tiffany Warner from Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I want to thank you for all your support on ending the stigma on mental health for over the past 7 years and with over 600 episodes, as well as several award nominations and placing as a finalist in 3 categories on the People's Choice Podcast Award last year. If you're listening to this on audio, please visit and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Moments of Clarity with Tiffany and enjoy viewing previous shows in case you missed any live. If you're interested in advertising and would like to promote your company, it is affordable and an effective way to get your company the attention it deserves. I also welcome potential guests as well, and all information can be found on my website at mocwithtiffany.com. Thank you again for your continued support, as change can only come when we stand together as one.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hello and welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. With me is educational consultant and specialist in the local Clearwater Tri-City area. So if you're listening to on the radio, most channels that you can hear, she can help anyway, even if it's anywhere in Florida, but locally as well. Melissa Kent. I'll post all of her information under the show afterwards. But educational consultant, she definitely helps lots of families get their kids back on track. There's things that I didn't even know that you can get scholarships for college and things that I've learned from talking with Melissa for having a 504 plan, or if they have a mental health diagnosis, it doesn't harm them. It actually gives them more leverage and scholarships and tuition reimbursements and things like that. So, I mean, I'm not encouraging anyone to make up a diagnosis, but if you're afraid of them having one, I think speak with Melissa, because that can be incorrect. Anyway,
Yes, for sure.
So welcome back, Melissa. We have a caller on the line. We have a caller, LP. Hi, LP. Welcome to Moments of Clarity.
What's going on, Tiffany? Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
I got a question. You know, with this suicide that happened with Stephen Twitch Boss from the Ellen DeGeneres show, I thought about how do you think parents, or what do you think parents should say to their kids that when they watch this breaking news story about Twitch, because he was, you know, he was an internet sensation and he was making all of these videos with his wife and by himself, you know, just looking like he was.
Larry, I'm interrupting you, but so Larry Penton is the host of Trigger Warning, and a great show, and he's always sending me current events that I have no idea about and didn't know, because my work schedule doesn't let me to quite keep up with the news or the paper or things like that. Can you tell us about which suicide in the Ellen DeGeneres show? Fill me in a little bit.
Yeah, so Stephen Boss, his nickname was Twitch. He was the black guy, the DJ that was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. He started off as a TikTok sensation, and then he was a DJ on the show. He became co-executive producer of the Ellen DeGeneres talk show until its end. And so on December the 13th, he committed suicide. He was 40 years old. And so Ellen, she posted, you know, on her social media about it. He had just celebrated, I believe it was his 9th wedding anniversary with his wife, December the 10th. And so I did a show on a Clubhouse on one of the rooms that I moderate, talking about suicide in men. And we know that, over 70% of suicides that are committed are men. And so my question to you is, as an educator dealing with parenting, how or what do you say to parents, to their kids, or what do you suggest parents should say to their children about suicide issues? Because we know that kids are increasing in the numbers of suicide rates, especially with COVID, being isolated, being shut in, and all of that stuff. What do you say to parents about suicide issues? Help you out.
Drop the mic. I'll say something first, and then
Okay, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I didn't know the statistic of suicide was mostly men or males. I do know that statistically males are more likely to commit suicide more graphically, using gun, or where it's definitely going to get the job done, and women are more likely to overdose with pills or cutting or things like that. That's just statistics. It's all shameful. It's an eye-opener, because people that are celebrities, such as like Robin Williams, Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, just on, and Twitch from the Ellen DeGeneres show, that you would think they have it all together because they're famous and everything, that suicide and depression and mental health does not discriminate against culture, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, fame, lack of fame, any of it. So when the news says things that people felt alone because they lived in poorer conditions or whatever, it's a misrepresentation, because people can feel lonely, even, and more so a lot, the more famous they are, the more money they have, it doesn't matter. Mental health is across the board, and we have to pay attention to those signs, because depression doesn't always look like crying all the time or excessive crying or things like that. It could be, physical symptoms and lack of sleep, disturbance of sleep, irritability, flu-like symptoms. And it's not always obvious, but to be aware and pay attention of a change in behavior is essential. So if you see something with your children, that they're all of a sudden not acting themselves, or for instance taping up their windows, or just, that's a time to take them one-on-one out to lunch, or to have a mommy Sunday, mommy daughter day, whatever it is, father daughter day, father son day, and see if you can connect. And I highly suggest don't go to the shooting range, but that's me. And pay attention. The changes in behavior are big.
Yes,
What
I
do you
agree
think,
with
Melissa?
you. Yes, 100% agree. You definitely want to have daily communication with the children. If they have questions, answer them. And if you don't know the answer, find the answer for them. You want to make sure like what your child is learning is legit. So you want them to be comfortable to come to you with questions or concerns. They need to have at least one adult that they know they can go to for help. So
a lot of them kind of don't want to their parents. I think that's part of the problem.
Yes.
At a certain age, they go from, and it's a blink of an eye, they go from, as soon as you get home from school, Mom, guess what happened, to to how was your day? Good. What'd you do today? Good. Did you have any homework? Good.
I don't know.
So,
Yeah,
that's
it
good's
can
just
be
the
like
answer to
pulling
everything.
teeth. Yes.
Yes,
Wait, what do you think, LP?
because of the work that I do as an active shooter consultant. I know you all were talking about earlier before the commercial break about just having issues with the school shootings and the Sandy Hook anniversary. Those things affect suicide rates too, because these kids are starting to talk about how these active violent incidents like the school shootings are affecting them. Even with training, that's starting to affect the work that I do, because some of these educators are saying that the kids are having like PTSD like symptoms when it comes to doing these drills, because they are so scared that it's going to happen in their school. And that contributes a lot to some of the people that are doing these suicide issues, because they're having these fears. And I think that you have to have the dialogue with some action plans. And that's why it's important to have mental health professionals like Tiffany collaborate with educators like yourself, Melissa, and also people like myself who do the consulting work, teaching people how to stop the bleed, learning first aid, CPR, but also enforcing my mantra, which is seek. No, there's so many mental health professionals available. There's no excuse for parents to turn their head or bury their head in the sand because I don't want my kid to be labeled, or I don't want my kid to be put on medication. Where everything that deals with mental health is not about that. There's so many modalities that are available. There's so many other techniques that can be done and utilized. We have to get rid of the stigmas, the taboos, the stereotypes associated with,
Yes.
We have to learn about ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. I got an ongoing series on my podcast now with Dr. Tori Williams talking about domestic violence and ACEs. The first episode was last week, just talking about her experience with it. This episode that came out yesterday, we broke down everything that you need to know about ACEs. And then next Thursday, we're going to be talking about what modalities and help that are available in regards to adverse childhood experiences. Suicide is one of those things, folks. It's serious, it's real. If you are suicidal at any point, if you know somebody that's suicidal, including your kid, not any kid, your kid, call 988.
I'm looking for the caption that I had. I know I have it somewhere, but the setting is different. But yes, you dial 988 anywhere in the United States, as far as I know.
Yep.
And it's free, it's anonymous, and it's crisis intervention of what to do. There's online therapists and consultants and support 24/7. 988.
Love you, Tiffany.
Thanks so much. You too.
Help you out.
Drop that mic. It's so nice of you to call in.
Yes.
And we're running short on time. And we have 4 minutes according to. Oh, I missed that. Sorry. But I have to say, I went a couple years without seeing Ed being like, 4 minutes. I had to go by the private chat or just get cut off. Oh, the memories. So anyway, some takeaways of this. 988 is exactly a free source. Call if you have any concerns. It's not going to get you or your family in trouble. It's anonymous. And I know people have tried it out, and you call or text, I believe too, and you get an immediate response back. If you sense any domestic violence in a home where children are being abused, it's 1-800-96-ABUSE. And if you also are everything okay but worried about your children in school right now, contact Melissa, and how can they contact you? Because I know you have a website.
Sure. You can find me at theeducationalconsultant.com. I'm also on Instagram at Melissa the Advocate. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. So reach out.
What's your website? Because all the links are there.
Sure. Theeducationalconsultant.com.
Educational consultant. But the educational consultant.
Yes. I'm the one.
Her Instagram is pretty cool. This morning I just saw some notifications, and I've been away from social media for a little bit, but she's got some reels on her stories with music attached because she was coming on Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. It was pretty cool though. I was like, okay, I gotta get my butt up and get ready. So she knows what she's doing. So theeducationalconsultant.com. If you're listening and you want to follow the show more, MOC with Tiffany.com, MOCWITHTIFFANY.com. And most of the links are on there as well. If you want to be a guest on the show or advertise and sponsor, you can reach me through that or through Instagram, MOC with Tiffany. Same thing. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a wonderful Friday. Melissa, thank you so much for being in the studio today and coming all this way. It was fun.
Yes.
There's some cakes to work out, but it was really cool. And it's good to see you in person instead of virtually. And everyone, you guys have a beautiful week. We'll see you every Friday, 12 to 1. Ed, thank you for everything, as always. Everyone that's listening, all the callers that called in, on the chat, and all the support. Be kind to yourself and to a stranger. You never know what they're going through. Please take care.
Take care.
Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity.